All right. Everybody, I need you to quiet down just a little bit. We're just getting ready to get started here. And I've got a hot mic. I'm not as hot as my mic, I'll tell you that right now. All right. Good evening, everyone. We got 1 minute. We're going to start in 1 minute. All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the forum tonight. I'm Tom Martin, longtime editor of the Register Mail. I've done a few of these before, so I'll try to remember how to conduct myself. I'm now the executive editor of the Quad City Times and Dispatch Argus. So I'm in the Quad Cities a little more than I am in Galesburg, it feels like at times. So I'm a little out of touch with some of the issues we're going to talk about tonight, so I am going to learn from this forum like some of you. I want to get a thanks out to the sponsors, NAACP, Galesburg Public Library, Tri-States Public Radio, PFLAG, United Against Hate, and WGIL. Also, thanks to the candidates for being here and running for office. It's not an easy thing. So I'll tell you just a little bit about the rules here. Both Republican and Democrat candidates for each contested office were invited to attend. Some of the candidates were not able to be here tonight. Candidates running for the same office will get the same questions tonight. Audience members will not ask questions. Candidates receive the topics in advance, but they didn't receive the specific questions. So they don't know exactly what they're answering. Little suspense, right? So they will get 2 minutes to do an opening. Each candidate will. Then we'll have 90 seconds to respond to each question, and then 1 minute for a closing statement. And we have a timekeeper somewhere right up front, Rich. And so the timekeeper will let the candidates know how much time that they have left. And then candidates, when you do your openings, please introduce yourself, briefly describe the duties of the office and how the office impacts county residents. Also, state your reasons for running for public office and your qualifications. So I think we're ready to get started with the state's attorney. I believe so. I think we've got a spot for you right here. So Republican Ashley Warby is running uncontested for state's attorney. And we'll let you get settled in, and then you can give us an opening.
All right, good evening. I'm Ashley Warby. I am running uncontested for Knox County State's Attorney. So I expect that I will, oh, sit down. Yes. Got it. Sorry about that. So I believe I will be starting here at the beginning of December as the state's attorney. Currently, I am back serving as an assistant state's attorney. I began as an assistant state's attorney back in August of 2019, and I worked there for just over 4 years before I decided to run for office. When I started out as an assistant, I never imagined that I would be here, that I would be on the precipice of actually being your next state's attorney. I just had a passion for criminal justice. I had been a defense attorney for about 6 years, and I wanted to try the other side, and I fell in love with it. I kind of found my niche and my calling, and after being there for several years under a couple different administrations, I ultimately just felt very strongly that I needed to run, that we needed improvements in the office in many different capacities. So I decided I was going to run, and again, just the main reason being just the need for better organization, for better case management, and a number of different things. And so I made that decision, and I'm really excited to be the state's attorney here. And while I'm juggling all of those responsibilities, I'm also a mom. I have 2 daughters who are teenagers, 2 sons, 9 and 3, and I do have another one on the way. But I'm a little bit experienced, so and things have been falling into place very well, so I feel confident that I'm going to be able to manage all of my responsibilities in the office as well as a mom. So thank you.
All right, thank you. We have 4 questions for you tonight here, and you'll get 90 seconds to respond to those, and you see Rich is already working you with the time, right?
Yes,
yeah,
very helpful.
Got you right in line there. So first question is, what is your vision of an ideal state's attorney's office? What changes would you make to the current operations at Knox County State's Attorney's Office to achieve your vision?
Yes. So first of all, better organization, better communication within the office, with law enforcement, with the community. I've already identified a few different changes in that regard. One, we've added the official position of First Assistant State's Attorney, which is very important for an office managing the caseload and the level of serious cases that we have. So that's one thing that will be coming, and that will be very helpful, getting fully staffed. We're on the precipice of having more attorneys working in that office than have ever worked in that office, which will be fantastic for managing, again, the caseload that we have and the really serious offenses that we have.
Okay, thank you. Number 2, many persons charged with crimes also suffer from mental illness, addiction, or both. As a prosecutor, what can you do to balance treatment and incarceration?
Yes, so it starts with the charging decision, whether to charge that person with a criminal offense, period. And the office does have a diversion program. If somebody is a first offender, we can get them into the program where they are under a level of supervision with our diversion coordinator, and they would be required to get a substance abuse evaluation, follow through on treatment, and if they do those things, they can avoid being prosecuted. Additionally, there are a lot of different tools, probation, different types of probation that avoid a criminal conviction as an incentive to try to get somebody to, get the help that they need. But yeah, there are a number of different options in that regard, but it starts with the decision on whether to charge somebody with the offense.
Okay, thank you. What can you, as state's attorney, do to make sure that minorities do not serve longer sentences than other convicted of similar offenses?
Well, one, we do have an electronic case management system, and we do track kind of statistical things so we can see if there are any kind of implicit biases happening. So we can monitor for that, see, how are things shaking out as far as plea offers and ultimate sentences for various types of defendants. That's one way that we can do that. And additionally, as attorneys, we are required to engage in continued legal education, and we do have a lot of resource with regard to, learning about implicit biases and things like that to make sure that we're not engaging in that. So really just being self-aware and engaging in some training to help with that awareness.
Okay, so this is your last question, and then you'll get a closing. The Pretrial Fairness Act, also known as the No Cash Bail Act, became effective September 18th, 2023. Consequently, Illinois courts now use a pretrial release system rather than a cash bail release system. Do you agree with the rationale for no cash bail? Why or why not? And in your experience, how do you think it's working in Knox County?
So, at the heart of it, I understand it. I agree with the spirit of it, but the bottom line is that the implementation of it, the rollout of it, the way it even became law has been nothing but a problem. There's so much gray area. We're constantly just learning as we go. And what Knox County is doing as far as how we implement the Pretrial Fairness Act is different than, say, Fulton County or Rock Island County. It's just a huge learning curve. So I understand the spirit of it, and it's not misplaced, but it's been very difficult. And the bottom line is that people used to have an opportunity to be able to get out of pretrial detention, and now, frankly, you have situations where it's very difficult for people to get out, period. And there are all kinds of different inconsistencies and things that don't make sense, such as somebody who has an out-of-county warrant who gets picked up, they could sit for 5 days minimum, whereas somebody else who's charged with certain felony may not spend a day in jail at all. So it's an interesting situation, and we're learning every day.
Okay, and now you have 90. Yes, you have 90 a minute. We've got 1 minute. Okay, I've got that wrong already. Yes, you have a minute to do your closing.
Okay. So again, thank you for inviting me here to talk. I am very excited that I'm already back in the office. And again, I'm not the state's attorney yet, but me being back in the office just means that I am working on my plans and my vision for the office 3 months sooner. And we have different things coming. Like, we are going to be going to all electronic discovery, which is going to save a lot of money, and frankly, it's more secure when you're exchanging information with someone else, even if it's another attorney. We've got a very bright, capable attorney who I'm hoping I'm going to be able to hire soon to come into the office to get fully staffed. I've already met with investigations for Knox County Sheriff's Office as well as investigations for Galesburg Police Department, and begun to discuss what what can we do to make things better, keep the line of communication open. And I just want you to know that I am available, and I want to talk to you. Please contact me. It is very important. And the number one thing about me that I want you to know is that I understand that being the state's attorney, no matter what decision I make in certain situations, you're not going to make everybody happy. But whatever decision that I make, I stand by it, and I make my decisions with facts and with reason. And if you have a question, you have a concern about decisions that has been made, I open conversation about it. So please remember that. Thank you.
Okay, well, thanks for coming tonight. And I think we'll get coroner candidates come on up.
Thank you.
We do have Republican Mary Ostrander is running unopposed for circuit clerk, but is not here tonight. So we're going to move on to Knox County Coroner. It looks like we've got them both here. So we have two candidates running for coroner, Douglas Sampson, a Democrat, and Jackie Dare, a Republican. All right. You two ready? It'll be nice and easy, I promise, if I can remember the time limits. So you do have 2 minutes to open up, and Mr. Sampson, we'll start with you. 2 minutes to give your opening.
Hello, I'm Doug Sampson. I'm running to be your Knox.
Okay, thank you. Jackie Dare.
Hello, my name is Jackie Dare, and I am a Republican candidate for the coroner's office. I am currently working at the Knox County Sheriff's Department, where I have been for 19 years. I am
Thank you. So we'll start the questions, and Mr. Sampson, we'll have you answer this first, and then we'll move on to Ms. Dare. So Mr. Sampson, do you have experience as a medical examiner? Do you have professional certification, for example, from the American Board of Medical Legal Death Investigators?
No,
You have experience as a medical examiner? Have certification from the American Board of Medical Legal Death Investigators. This is the first time I read that particular sentence, so, and even the second time I didn't do it right, so. We'll stick with you for number 2 question. Have you performed an autopsy?
Just assisted with one, actually assisted with 3.
Okay. Did you have anything else you want to do? Okay. Mr. Sampson?
I've been involved in, I believe, 2,
Okay.
just assisted, and photographed and documented what had taken place for the sheriff's department site.
Okay. All right. Mr. Sampson, we'll stay with you. What experience do you have investigating crime scenes?
Crime scenes, over 34 years, I've been involved in a lot of crime scenes. Like I said, I was an investigator for a short time, and responded to anything from meth labs to burglaries to death scenes. Anything you can imagine happens out in the county, we respond to. So I have been involved in several crime scenes over my career.
Okay. Ms. Dare, what experience do you have investigating crime scenes?
The experience I have is the 19 years that I worked at the sheriff's department. I've assisted with the investigations department. I have not been an investigator, I've just assisted with them. But obviously when you get called to a scene and it's a crime scene, I'm able to protect the scene. I know what to do to make sure that evidence isn't destroyed, and obviously assist the investigations with solving the crime.
We'll stay with you. What are the most important things to remember when working with bereaved family members and friends?
Caring and compassion. I know
Mr. Sampson, same question. What are the most important things to remember when working with bereaved family members and friends? Okay, so it is time for your closings, and they are 1 minute each. And Mr. Sampson, will let you start. All right, thank you. Ms. Dare, your closing statement.
I want to thank you all for coming out as well, and I want to let you know that as the coroner,
Okay, thank you very much. Five-minute intermission, and we'll want, in the meantime, to get the county board candidates up here and get them all set for the next round of questions. So Candidates, come on up. We're getting ready to start. All right, 30 seconds. All right, if we can bring the level down just a little bit. All right, welcome back. Now we have some Knox County Board candidates. Several of them are here tonight, and I'm going to try to do a quick rundown here before we get started. For one seat in District 1, we have Democrat Tracy Robertson and Republican Fred McGonigal. Tracy is here, Fred is not. We have 4 candidates competing for 2 seats in District 2. The Democrats are Aaron Pugh and David Amore. Republicans are Brett Zorn and Jennifer Frederick. I believe we have them all here. All right. In District 3, we have 2 candidates for 1 seat. Democrat Kimberly Theory is running against Republican Samuel Larson. All right, so there are 2 candidates who are running for 1 seat in District 4. The candidates are Oscar Riley Jr., a Democrat, and Joshua Kramer, a Republican. All right, neither of those candidates are here, I believe. Finally, in District 5, we have 3 candidates running for 2 seats. Candidates are Democrat Paul Steenis and Republicans Patty Boone and Ricardo Sandoval. None of those candidates are here tonight. Oh, okay.
I'm here, but I didn't sign up because I have my daughter-in-law. She's got twins, and we didn't know if we were going to be here.
All right. All right. Well, thanks for the explanation.
If you want me to, I can.
I'll leave that up to Rich if he wants to do that. I will let Rich work with you on that, but we are going to go ahead and get started with opening statements, and Tracy Robinson, you are first. You have 2 minutes to tell us about yourself.
Okay, is this on? Am I too close? Hello, everyone. Let me first take this time to thank everyone who has taken their time to help organize this event tonight. Thank you. Well done, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to address you all tonight. Thank you for you all coming out tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tracy Robertson. I'm married to Tony Robertson, and together we have a very large blended family that we love spending time with. I graduated from Galesburg High School in 1982, and even though I wasn't born here, this is my home, where I live and I worked, the place I raised my 4 children, the city I call home. I have worked several jobs in this city before being hired by Illinois Power, anybody remember that? Which is now Ameren, Illinois. Starting as a car washer and working my way to becoming the first and only Black female natural gas crew leader, I retired after 29 years of service in December of 2019. During that time with Ameren, I was an active union member of IBEW Local 51, and as such, IBEW Local 51 has endorsed me in my campaign for Knox County Board District 1. Ask Me Council 31 has also endorsed my campaign for Knox County District Board, District 1. I truly appreciate all this financial support from my family and friends for my campaign, and as a new member of the Knox County Board, I will be very active in each committee that I am assigned to. I will work with each member of the Knox County Board to provide the best outcome for the citizens of Knox County. District 1 is made up of residential as well as businesses, and as such, I look forward to fostering a positive and strong relationship with both. This is why I'm asking you for your vote in this November. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So in District 2, Ms. Frederick, your opening.
Yes, so I am Jennifer Frederick, running for Knox County Board District 2. I come from the human resources background here locally, and then I went nationally. With that being said, I've seen the need for, in several different places. It was kind of hard to choose from the county board to the city council to the school board. So a lot of things, a lot of moving pieces going on around us. With that being said, I feel I am your candidate tonight because, and for this upcoming election, as I do think I bring a wealth of knowledge and experience when it comes to our employers. I want to be the candidate that protects our employers here in Knox County, as well as the wealth of knowledge I bring covers, like I said, locally and nationally, as well as a part-time position with the Center for Youth and Family Solutions. So the crisis division for child care and overseeing our children here locally. With that being said, I do think I am the best fit for this position and a qualified fit for this position from the dynamic I come from when it comes to our seniors. I will be your candidate to oversee and support our seniors here in Knox County. I do believe there are over about 20,000 seniors in Knox County that are in need. With that being said, the jail needs to be fully staffed. I am your candidate to support the jail and the courthouse as well, and our probation departments. Not forgetting our county clerk's office needing paid higher. The economic development is a huge need here. The seniors of Knox County should be graduating with OSHA 10s and be trade-minded, as we do still have trades here in Knox County. I am very well aware and very, very well versed when it comes to our employment side and labor law side. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Pugh, in District 2, your opening statement, please.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to start off by saying thank you to the NAACP, Tri-States Public Radio and Public Library, and the other organizations that helped put this forum together. I appreciate your time. To those who don't know me, I'm Erin Pugh. I'm your Knox County Board member for District 2, and I'm running to maintain my seat. My duties are to attend the designated meetings that are assigned to me, which are the Public Safety and Justice Committee, which we deal with the Sheriff and the Mary Davis Home and State's Attorney. The Ways and Means Committee goes over finances, and Galesburg Tourism and Visitor Bureau Committee. This committee helps bring people to Knox County. We, as the board, meet the last Wednesday of each month. I'm born and raised in Galesburg, graduated at Galesburg High School in 2000. I attended 2 years at Missouri Western University, came back and earned my associate's degree in nursing from Carl Sandburg College. I coached 2 years at junior high for 2 years, 1 year at Lombard. Currently high school cheerleading coach for over 10 years now. I married my high school sweetheart, Lorenzo Pugh. We are raising 3 boys. I'm active in the local real estate market where I'm a landlord and property rehabber, co-owner of the cleanup crew, as a wife, mom, raising small children, and as a business owner. In this community, it's important to me for Knox County to thrive. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. Mr. Zorn, also in District 2, your opening.
Hi, my name is Brent Zorn. Brent Zorney, and I would like to thank all of the sponsors, but I'd also like to take an opportunity to thank Tom, who's been an important part of this community for so many years, for coming here to moderate this. I am running for a seat on the Knox County Board in District 2. This is my second attempt, and I hope to be successful. I've had an opportunity to knock on a lot of doors and to get to know a lot of people. We have some very nice people all over Knox County, but especially in District 2, which is basically the east side of the city. The people that I have met have not expressed a lot of concerns, but one of the things that they have said is that they would like to see us continue to do the good job that we do with the Knox County Nursing Home. And my wife, who is a nurse, she was Dr. Curdy's nurse for 33 years, and is currently with Graham Medical Group, says that the Knox County Nursing Home, out of all of the nursing homes that she deals with, the Knox County Nursing Home is the best one that we have here in the county. And I would like to be involved on the county board as a participant in trying to keep it that way. I also think law enforcement is very important, and we need to provide more law enforcement resources for our very capable Sheriff Jack Harlan. And I also believe that we need to keep in mind, even though we're here in the city representing the city, need to keep in mind that this is an agricultural community. They're the engine that drives our economy, and to be cognizant of what is happening out in the rural areas as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Amor.
Yes, good evening. I would like to say my thanks also to the NAACP, the Public Library, Tri-States Public Radio, WGIL, and the other sponsors, and to thank you all for being here this evening. My name is David Amor, and I'm running for re-election to the County Board for District 2. I previously served 2 terms on the board from 2016 to 2022. I served as chair of the Finance Committee for 2 years and was elected vice chair by my fellow board members twice in 2018 and 2020. When I left in 2022, the board asked me to continue as the county's broadband coordinator to continue to lead its ultimately successful initiative to secure funding to expand high-speed broadband in the rural townships. I retired from Knox College after 34 years in student recruitment, fundraising, public relations, grant writing, and teaching, the last decade as chair of the journalism program. My values are those of an FDR Democrat. I believe that government should help people live their lives as fully as possible. I believe government must listen and be responsive to people. And I believe government must earn and maintain the trust of the people, especially since you entrust us to levy taxes for the common good. These values shape my priorities. On the county board, I will pursue economic development to improve people's lives and at the same time expand the tax base, allowing us to moderate the tax burden on families. Recent examples of this are the solar and wind farm initiatives that I championed when on the board before. I also believe in compensating Knox County employees fairly, and I worked hard as a board member to develop a system that identifies and corrects inequities in salaries and wages. Finally, county government only works properly when it's transparent to the public and gives you the opportunity to learn about its upcoming business and give informed feedback before decisions are taken. This is not happening adequately right now, and getting us back on track will be a top priority for me if elected. Thank you, and I look forward to answering your questions.
All right, thank you. So we'll move to District 3, and Ms. Theory, your opening, please.
Good evening. My name is Kimberly Theory, and I'm running to be re-elected for District 3. I'd like to thank everyone for attending tonight and all of those involved in putting this forum on. As a citizen of Knox County and Galesburg, I hope you all agree with me when I say democracy is a verb. Your attendance here tonight shows we are all united in actively ensuring that democracy lives on for future generations of Knox County citizens. We stand united and joined by a need of community for future Knox County citizens. There is a considerable amount of need in our community. The need for health care, the need to care for our seniors and disabled, the need to provide services for mental health, the need to provide for our veterans and enjoy the freedoms secured by their service. Lastly, the need to be safe in our homes. We are all united in those needs. The Theory family has been a part of Knox County for over 100 years. My father retired from Butler Manufacturing, and I can always remember how proud he was whenever he would see that logo on silos and buildings in Knox County and around the area. I'm a graduate of Galesburg High School, Monmouth College, and St. Ambrose. I'm a retired worker for the state of Illinois. I currently work for OSF as an in-home health social worker, making me very aware of the need in Knox County. So I would like to thank you all again for showing up tonight and to reassure you that if I'm allowed to be on the board again, I will continue to fight and represent the District 3 for its needs. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And Samuel Larson is not here, is that correct? Okay, so we'll move on to District 5, and we have Ms. Boone. Would you like to do an opening for us?
Yeah, I think I can tell you what.
All right, well, thanks for
basic
joining
background.
tonight. We had a spot there for you the whole time, I guess, so.
Well, I'm Patty Boone. I am a nurse for OSF. I've been a nurse since 1994, so I've been out there in the community. I was a CNA instructor for Carl Sandburg for 8 years. Then I became an OSF hospice nurse, and that pretty much took over my life. And I have had the privilege of serving with really wonderful people on the Knox County Board. I hope everyone in this county realizes just how much great goodness and wonderful things this county has. I've been out there every day. I see incredible things from the strength of our people and their honesty and their integrity. And my father worked at Butler's too for over 40 years. A lot of my family members worked at Butler's, and it was so devastating when Butler's closed. Just like Maytag, just like Gates, and the downsizing of all of our industry. I would love to see industry come back. We've got to have jobs. We can, provide for our people. We have everything we need here. We just need to court that back to our state, back to our county, bring those tax dollars in. I'm really big on BNSF. I'm glad we've got them. I'm big on health care, of course. And I'm big on service. And I've been blessed to serve such wonderful, wonderful people at my job. And I know that all of us here are on the same page. We all have the same goals. And I think we need to acknowledge how much wonderful skills that we all can contribute to our people and keep us on our safety. Galesburg used to be one of the safest towns for its size in the nation. Let's bring those back. I kind of like to reflect upon the greater days and kind of use that as a role model and use our boards to help make it easier for factories to come back. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. So we will start with the questions, and you have 90 seconds, each of you. And the first round, we'll just keep that same order. Ms. Robinson, we will start with you. And the question is, rural communities, including Knox County, are facing declining population, stagnant employment, and high rates of poverty. What are other top concerns facing the county? What policies can the county board adopt to help all communities in Knox County thrive?
I think that safety is always an issue within any county, and I think that working partnership with the city and with the county sheriff's department would be a major thing to make sure that everyone felt secure in their homes. Population-wise, we just need to bring more businesses here and encourage businesses to stay and hire more, and to help anyone looking to start a business that we are welcoming to all.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Frederick, would you like me to repeat that question? Sure. Rural communities, including Knox County, are facing declining population, stagnant employment, and high poverty rates. What are other top concerns facing the county? And what policies can the county board adopt to help all communities in Knox County thrive?
Absolutely. So I think I lived that firsthand. As I had stated in my opening statement, that I went from working locally to nationally. That was from financial reasons, right? So with that being said, when it comes to things locally, I think there's so many things to oversee, and there's so many large focuses. The biggest thing with our county is working proactively. With being proactive, that means the seniors that are graduating this year, or next year, I guess, are our primary focus and should be who we are getting in front of every single day. On the political side, inviting them into politics, as well as, again, as I will say, is graduating with the OSHA 10s, letting them know that there are still trades in Knox County. From the employer standpoint, we do see all these companies leaving, and they can't stay because they don't have the employees aren't here anymore, and they're going for the higher paying jobs elsewhere. So we really have to get out to our industrial park before our industrial park leaves us. With that being said, our transportation issue out to the industrial park has to be taken care of. So getting our employees out to the industrial park, per shift to help out at Dick Blick, United Facilities, Euclid Beverage, and anybody else that's out there as well that's still industrial park. So that's it for me.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Pugh, would you like to hear it again, the question? Yes, please. All right. I like to say it. Rural communities, including Knox County, are facing declining populations, stagnant employment, and high rates of poverty. What are other top concerns facing the county, and what policies can the county board adopt to help all communities in Knox County thrive?
Well, just kind of piggyback what Ms. Robertson was saying about the jobs. We really need to reach out to Knox College and have conversations with them to get them to stay. I think that will help out. I just went in a blank. Sorry. And then for
What other focuses?
the other focuses, I do. What'd you say? I'm sorry. Yes. Me being on the board, the Galesburg Tourism Visitor Bureau, I know they're are helping out, trying to get more people to come to visit Knox County. I think that would help out. And I had something else, but I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
Thank you. And it's Zorni, is that correct?
It is Zorni.
Okay. Mr. Zorni, rural communities, including Knox County, are facing declining population, stagnant employment, and high rates of poverty. What are other top concerns facing the county, and what policies can the county board adopt to help all communities in Knox County to thrive?
You liked reading that so much that I was going to ask you, but you went ahead and did it anyway, so I'm glad that...
I was not going to gamble on it.
Thank you, Tom. I think there are a number of things that we can take a look at in Knox County that need to be done. One of the things that was mentioned here is that we need to do as good a job as we possibly can on public safety. I mentioned that our sheriff, Jack Harlan, has taken a lot of guns and drugs off of the streets over the period of time that he's been in office. However, we need to continue to support him, the jail, the Mary Davis home, and try to continue to reduce the crime. I was very disappointed when I saw that Williamsfield wanted a public safety officer, basically a sheriff, to be on their premises for student safety. And while the Republicans voted in favor of that unanimously, the Democrats voted against the safety of our children in one of our rural school districts. I think that's shameful. We need to do a better job of protecting our kids, and we also need to do a better job of protecting all of our citizens by providing law enforcement with the tools and the finances that they need to do their jobs well. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Amor, are you ready? Do you want to hear the question?
If you'd like to say it.
You know I do. Rural communities, including Knox County, are facing declining population, stagnant employment, and high rates of poverty. What are other top concerns facing the county, and what policies can the county board adopt to help all communities in Knox County to thrive?
I think there are two things that have to happen simultaneously, and I think this is broader than just Knox County. But at the same time that we pursue development, economic development, bringing new businesses in, or I think improving communications and infrastructure. We also need to remember to maintain the quality of life for people that are already here. And I'm thinking continuing to put investments into the Knox County Nursing Home is something that we can do, which I think is very important. I think just maintaining the roads and bridges in the county at that level, that has an impact, I think, on both sides. Then I think as we think about this, we need to keep things in balance. So we need to spend our tax dollars wisely. We both need to develop the tax base, I think, by bringing in new businesses, but also to balance our budget allocations. The county board has to stay in balance by state law, has to cannot run a deficit. So we need to make sure that the budget allocations across all of our responsibilities are thought about very carefully, I think, and that once they're made, that offices and departments stay within those. I think we can be much more proactive than we have been about seeking out state and federal grants. The broadband initiative that the county was involved with, in some ways it was free money when we came with the ARPA dollars, but we were able to draw on significant state resources to make something happen that's going to benefit pretty much all the rural citizens of the county. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We will go to District 3, Ms. Theory. Rural communities, including Knox County, are facing declining population, stagnant employment, and high rates of poverty. What are other top concerns facing the county, and what policies can the county board adopt to help all communities in Knox County to thrive?
One thing that we can do as a county and as a city is to work toward providing rural transportation. I know in my profession as a home health social worker, one of the biggest problems I have is getting people to the doctor. And it's a very serious problem in our communities in the county. I have a problem getting people for doctor's appointments, and that's a major. And also dealing with emergencies. In the county, in the rural areas, it's very hard to locate homes oftentimes. There's poor markings. Some houses have no marking at all. So I find myself going around and around. And if that were emergency, just imagine how much time that would mean when it comes to seconds to saving lives. So those are two things I would really like for the county to invest in.
Okay, thank you. All right, I know people are excited, but please refrain from applause until everybody is finished. Ms. Boone, rural communities, including Knox County, are facing declining population, stagnant employment, and high rates of poverty. What are other top concerns facing the county? What?
I didn't need you to read it, but because the answer is very clear, it's jobs and good paying jobs. We have an aging population. We had a huge baby boomer population. They're getting old, they're retiring. What's sad is that our young men and women, where are the jobs for them? We don't have them. Who wants to work fast food? Who wants to work retail when you're getting barely minimum wage? Who wants to invest in that? We, as an aging population, need to invest in our own youth, because we're going not to have them if we don't. They're going to go to different jobs everywhere else. My dad, he worked at Butler's, but he lived in a rural area. He had a small farm, and he had to work at Butler's to pay for his small farming habit. So a lot of these small communities relied on Galesburg jobs to hold them up. Galesburg jobs are gone. Your communities in the rural areas are declining. We need to encourage small business. Anybody who wants to create any kind of jobs, we need to court it. But we really need to go after big manufacturing jobs or any kind, even in the healthcare field, trying to improve our quality of healthcare and whatever it takes to keep our youth here, because we're going to need them.
All right, thank you. We will go to the second question, and we will start with Ms. Frederick. And the question is, do you think the city of Galesburg and the county have a good working relationship? What can or will you do to improve the county's relationship with the city of Galesburg?
Yeah, so I do believe there is a good relationship there, but as everything else, it can always get better. With that being said, I have seen our city council members be super supportive of our county board members and vice versa. And I myself have witnessed that, and those are actually the ones that are helping me in the campaign and telling me how to win and teaching me the life goals of what's happening around us. Transparency is key, and also is availability. So just knowing that you can call someone of any party and they're going to pick up the phone, or they're going to call you back. So transparency is key, working together and sharing your feedback, but also understanding this is not per party. This is going to be per the one county. This is Knox County in general, and really truly making that decision together, hearing both sides, and together deciding what is best for our Knox County residents and working for the people. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Pugh, same question. Do you think the city of Galesburg and the county have a good working relationship, and what can or will you do to improve the county's relationship with the city?
I do believe that we do have a good relationship with the city council and with the Knox County.
Okay. Mr. Zorning, same question.
When I moved here, I was to run the cable TV company back in 1987. So over the years, I've been very involved with both local and state governmental bodies. I've seen both the city council and the county board close up, and they have a good working relationship. I think it's important that we continue that good working relationship and try to strengthen it in order to bring jobs and to bring prosperity to Knox County. One of the things that I think the two organizations can do is focus on technology-driven jobs to try to take advantage of the high-speed internet that we have here, and the great quality of life that we have here. And I think we'll continue to do that as time goes on.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Amor, do you think the city of Galesburg and the county have a good working relationship, and what can or will you do to improve the county's relationship with the city?
I think in general, it's correct. There's a very good relationship, and there are a lot of different offices across both areas. I'm thinking Galesburg Police Department and the Sheriff's Department, and other areas in which those offices have been working together very well for many years. I sometimes feel, however, that the kind of planning that's going on in the two institutions are not communicating always with each other. And I think that's an area where possibly there could be some significant improvement. Maybe with having somebody meeting regularly with the city manager, somebody from the county side, that would be good. I think on the economic development area, that's been an area also, I think, that particularly with the leadership from KCAP, those organizations have worked very well together. Obviously, in a lot of areas, we're not overlapping, and so that attention has to be there. But in general, I think that it's good. I would agree in terms of economic development and the jobs. I think we need to explore every possible area to be able to try to find ways to bring jobs, and ways in which the county can do that. I think we maybe need to take the lead from the city on that, but I think that's important.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Theory, would you like to hear the question again? Sure. All right. Do you think the city of Galesburg and the county have a good working relationship? What can or will you do to improve the county's relationship with the city of Galesburg?
I think they absolutely do have a good working relationship between the law enforcement, Mary Davis home, landfill, garbage pickup with the landfill and the highways and roads. There is a very good working relationship. And improvement, I would say more communication.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Boone, same question?
I agree with Kim. I believe that Galesburg is our big metropolitan area, if you want to call it that, and it supports the whole structure of Galesburg is so important for the rest of the county. I haven't heard any complaints from people who are within the city with the county government. So I think we all are working well together, and since I've been involved in the board, I have so much faith in all leadership. I am so just happy to have experienced this side of it. And I recommend people going to those board meetings, getting involved. If you have a concern, verbalize it, you know, because a lot of times people don't know if someone has a concern, they don't raise it. So how are we going to know? How are we going to be able to work something out if we don't know that there is a disagreement or something that's not good for the city, that's better for the county? But I really believe they're just one of the same. To me, it's like we all work together. Our tax dollars go into this whole county, and it's important that we're all on the same page, that we want to make this county solid, and we want to be able to support our own and hold our own. And like I want to just reiterate here that Galesburg is very important for the rest of the county, but just don't forget the rural areas, because your agriculture is really, really important too for Galesburg. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Robertson, same question. Do you think the city of Galesburg and the county have a good working relationship? And what can or will you do to improve the county's relationship with the city?
I will be for all of Knox County. I will welcome a relationship with the city council as well as the school board. Any agency that is here to help improve Knox County and stay open-minded in bringing new jobs here and maintain safety for all the citizens. We also need to look into bus transportation or some other transportation for the county. There's lots of elderly that need a way, and small young families that need a way to get around the city, and it's very expensive to Uber and to ride the bus, and I think we need to learn how to offset some of that cost for people in order to keep them here. The piggyback off of what Kim said about the signage of 911, as a gas journeyman and running gas leaks, it's very important to find people's houses before there's a problem. So we really need to work on the county for that.
Okay, thank you. So then question 3, and Ms. Pugh, you will be the first to answer this. Do you think transparency and accountability are important? In 2023 and the first part of 2024, board packets for county board meetings were not posted online for the public to view in advance of meetings. Is that acceptable, and how would you address such issues?
Well, sorry, excuse me. I actually had an informed citizen who was looking for the Knox County Comprehensive Plan, and he could find Fulton and Peoria counties, but not Knox. I think it's important to make this information available to our taxpayers. It should be easy to find when things are talked. Oh, that's it. But I would love to see that. I know not only this concerned citizen, we have plenty of people who are complaining about they can't find the information. It should be available on the website. We should be an open book. I mean, we shouldn't be hiding anything. I feel like if it's how should I say this? If it's it just should be available. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay. Mr. Zorni, same question. Do you think transparency and accountability are important? And in 2023 and the first part of 2024, board packets for county board meetings were not posted online in advance of the meetings. Is that acceptable, and how would you address such issues?
Well, my first career, I was a radio reporter and then television reporter covering events just like this: county board meetings, city council meetings, school board meetings. So yes, I am very well informed about what government needs to do to be transparent, and I want to see the county government as transparent as possible. But I also know the reality is that sometimes it's very difficult to maintain a website, and sometimes those things are difficult to get online, but we need to do better, and I think that we can. One of the things that I would like to see the county board do, the city does very well, and that is to make past meetings available in an archive where you can go back and watch the meeting from last week, last month, 5 years ago. And I'd like to see us do the same thing for the county board meetings so that people can be informed and they can go back and they can check their understanding of what happened during the meetings if they have a question or a concern.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Amor. Same question. Do you think transparency and accountability are important? And the packets for county board meetings were not posted in 2023 at the end of the year and the first part of 2024. Is that acceptable, and how would you address those issues?
It's not acceptable. And in fact, I was publicly stated that in public comment at the county board meetings. And I think it's a credit that, in fact, they changed that practice, and the packets are now there. However, the packets that are available to the public are very thin. That the minutes of meetings are not in there. Minutes of committee meetings are not in there. So that if you come to the county board meeting, they may go through the process and do it all according to Hoyle, but you won't know. You would have very different. It would be impossible for you to know what kind of discussion went on at the committee meeting, whether or not somebody raised objections, all of the kinds of things that you might want to know to either support or to challenge an event. The other thing I'll say is they were starting to develop a new website when I was on the board in 2022. There's no reason that that new website shouldn't have been up and running by this time. That's really not acceptable, I think. So I know that the county clerk has a lot on his plate. The website development actually was taken away from him and is not his responsibility. So it's difficult. I think this is an area that really needs to be addressed quickly.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Theory, same question. Do you think transparency and accountability are important in 2023? In the first part of 2024, board packets for county board meetings were not posted online for the public to view in advance of the meetings. Is that acceptable? How would you address such issues?
Yes, it is very important that we follow mandates, and it is a requirement of the law that we do it. So therefore, yeah, it matters. We have very outdated information, very limited information, and it questions transparency. So we should be above it and transparent and have that information available.
Okay. Ms. Boone, same question to you. Would you like to hear it?
No. All right. Well, and I'm the last, so I've heard it how many times?
Yeah, that's
So
what I'm
That's
thinking.
why I don't want to put you through that. I really believe in transparency, and I believe in integrity, and I believe in honesty. And I believe as leadership, our meetings should be Zoom. You should be able to go in, and our subcommittee meetings, we have a Zoom number. And I invite people to explore those options on our subcommittee nights. You guys are welcome to attend. We're open to the public. We offer public comments. You can sign up and you can have 3 minutes to verbalize your concerns, and the board does listen. And as far as board minutes goes, we do have to review them all as board members, and we have to vote on them. So then once we vote and approve those, then those can be posted. So you're going to get the last month's. But like, if I had my way, it would be Zoom. You guys could be live and active. You know, you won't be able to make comments on that, so if you want to make a public comment, come on in. Introduce yourself and let us know what's concerning you. That would be an honor for us to serve.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Robertson, do you think transparency and accountability are important? In 2023, in the first part of 2024, board packets for county board meetings were not posted online for the public to view in advance of meetings. Is that acceptable? And how would you address such issues?
Transparency is a must. We need a website that we can easily find and navigate for everyone, not just the techies. It should be readily available. The package should be out in enough time that people have jobs and other commitments. So having it posted or online the day before or that morning is not realistic. It needs to be posted immediately as soon as it can come out, so that anybody during that time period has the time to actually download it, look at it, and have a comment that makes sense to that meeting. The meetings that I've been to, everyone votes on everything, and the general public has no idea what it is, what the problems are, if it should be passed or not, and how our taxpayer dollars are being spent. I agree with her with the Zoom meeting. We need to have more involvement with the community. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Frederick, same question. Would you like to hear it? Okay.
Yeah, so if you get a chance to get one of my cards, one of the things I do say on here is I do believe in transparency as well as accountability. So holding ourselves accountable when on the board. I could mimic everybody that's spoken on this topic tonight. However, I'll save you the time. With that being said, you know, it was living proof in November that transparency wasn't key. When I was texting my friends in the community saying, hey, there's an emergency meeting tonight for the Sheriff's Department to get them funding. And the Sheriff's Department, they do so much for us. They really truly deserve to have the public behind them. And even now, when I say that the meeting did happen before, then they didn't know it was there. So they weren't able to come out and support our sheriff deputies, our sheriff, our corrections officers, and so on and so forth. So transparency is key, and it is the only way through and the only way to grow. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We will go to question 4. Mr. Zorni, you get the first shot at this one. All meetings of the Galesburg City Council are broadcast on cable channel 7, as are their work sessions. If elected to the county board, will you support having the same arrangement for county board meetings and work sessions?
Absolutely. I was the manager of the cable TV company, and I had a television program on there every month with our elected state representative, who at the time was David Holgren, and we would use that channel 7, the public access channel, as an opportunity to find out what was going on in Springfield straight from one of the participants. I think that's a good idea. I hope that the cable company can still do that with other meetings in addition to the city council meetings, and I would definitely support an effort to try to move that forward.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Amor, same question. All meetings of the Galesburg City Council are broadcast on cable channel 7, as are their work sessions. If elected to the county board, would you support having the same arrangement?
I would definitely support it. I'm not a techie, so I don't know what the logistical problem. I mean, right now, as it was pointed out, everything is all of our committee meetings at the county level are streamed on Zoom. Presumably, it shouldn't be all that difficult to be able to take, you know, a digital stream and have it also on channel 7. I know that my memory is that when the county board moved to the city hall, that there was some discussion about doing that, and there was some pushback from the city. I don't know what that was about, whether it was a technical problem or some other problem. Yes, I would definitely support doing that. I think it would be important. I also think it's important to continue to have the Zoom sessions so that people out in the county can also go. I mean, people, if you live in Abingdon, I don't think you can get Channel 7.
All right, thank you. Ms. Theory?
Be an excellent idea, and it gives an opportunity, as David said, if we do both, for all citizens in the county and in the city to have more access to information. That way people would have ability to attend without worrying about weather, transportation, the elderly, so it would only increase participation. So I think it would be a very good idea. It would also offer an opportunity for the city and the county to work together again and communicate again, because we would need their assistance in getting that going in City Hall.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Boone, would you support having county board meetings broadcast on Cable 7?
Yes, I would actually, but I'm out in District 5, and we're one of the last kind of rural districts who need our 5G and our internet. I don't even have slow dial-up, so anything I get, it has to be on Verizon or HughesNet. We don't have broadband. So, you know, I'm really kind of trying to get that out there for District 5 so then they can watch it. So, and it's accessible to everybody, not just people who can afford HughesNet or who can afford those things. That should be a fundamental thing, that you should be able to participate, every individual in your government, in your own. I truly believe that's what our founding fathers wanted us. They didn't want us sitting in a chair, just sitting there talking about things that we're not active in. Get off that chair, get out there in that community, go to those board meetings, make yourself active in this process. It is so important that we all come together, whatever political party you are, let your needs be known. There's so much power in humanity, and we are all on the same page. We all love our kids. We all love our families. We all love our friends. We all love our communities. We're all on the same page on this, and let's just build it. Let's make Galesburg great again. That's my attitude with Knox County. We can do it. There's nothing that can stop us if we really want to do it.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Robertson, would you support the county board meetings being broadcast on Cable Channel 7?
Absolutely, yes. I think the Zoom would be awesome, and I think that if there was a way that we could record those meetings so people could go back, if they weren't able to sit in front of the TV that particular night, but they wanted to participate, they could have a recording that they could go back, download, watch it, so they could be on board for the next meeting. So I think that would be a great idea. And if we are having problems out in the county, I think trying to find a way for them to stay engaged and be able to still participate would be the best thing that the county could do, and to work with the city on that.
Ms. Frederick, thank you. Ms. Frederick, would you support that as well?
Yes, I would support it, but I also say add to it. So I think we need more local coverage. And with that being said, the Galesburg local news has done a great job at reporting what they can, but being able to support them in their journey, and then also telling more of our residents about their emailing list. So as myself, I would love to have access to look at it later, but then also read about it myself when time is available. So I think that in the community we live in being in 2024, most people don't have cable anymore or aren't watching cable. So that being said, we need to get in with the times and also offer more coverage and more opportunity times for them to log in. So Zoom, recordings, and if we can have somebody cover it, to where they're able to read it, that would be great. That's it for me.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Pugh, same question. Would you support county board meetings and work sessions being broadcast on Cable Channel 7?
Absolutely. I think that what everyone basically said, the more information, the more that people can tune in, it will be tremendous. So yes, I definitely support it.
Okay. We're doing all right on time. It looks like question 5, and this will be Mr. Amor. Do you have any concerns about how specific departments have managed their budgets? How would you ensure that the departments funded by the board respect that process and do not exceed their allocated funds? Where would you increase or decrease county spending and why?
I'm going to take 30 seconds just to point out a couple of things. One, already, all of the county committee Zoom sessions are recorded. They're required to be recorded so that they function basically as video minutes. So we already, in some sense, have that capacity, and that could be done. As far as the budgetary process, I went through this in spades for 2 years, leading the finance committee, and there's a couple things there. One is pretty much everybody, with the exception probably of the landfill and the highway department, are not great at forward planning, so that often the budgets that are put forward are kind of guesstimates as to where things are going to go. So I think that all of the departments could take that process more seriously, and I know that that Brian Frederick, who's the chair now, has really worked hard, and Robin Davis have worked hard to try to get people to start that process earlier and do that so that, in fact, you have a budget that you can live within. I think also, one thing that I instituted there too was to basically every month take a look at the departments, particularly those with personnel costs that were running significantly over budget, so that you could draw that to the attention of the people in the current areas. So I think there's a lot more that could be done to try to keep everybody operating within a known budget.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Theory, we go to you with this same question. Do you have any concerns about how specific departments have managed their budgets? How would you ensure that the departments funded by the board respect that process and do not exceed their allocated funds? Where would you increase or decrease county spending and why?
To work closely with our county treasurer, because she does an excellent job of keeping us on task and reminding us of where we are with our budget. And it would be nice to make sure that as a monthly total, we know better as agencies what our budget and what we're spending. I would also recommend that all departments spend less and be more mindful of the bottom line.
Spoon.
Well, I am a fiscal Republican, and I am very, very attuned to certain departments require more to maintain them. Our public safety is extremely important. And we all know in Galesburg we've had a lot more violent crimes. So it is very important that we provide our police officers and, a good, strong police department and equipped with the bulletproof vests, the things they need to do their job, updated equipment, vehicles are going to keep our community a whole lot safer. And this is a time that we have to realize it's about everyone. We don't know who's in your backyard in the middle of the night. Who do you call? You call a police officer, right? They're going to keep you safe. And so that's why it's important that we have fast turnover time. That's why we needed an officer out in Williamsfield. They didn't have a police officer. So that department is going to require more money. That department is going to have to, budget for maybe a squad car breaking down. Maybe there's an accident. So we have to take in consideration each department and each department's needs. So that's why you can try to plan ahead and you can try to foresee everything, but some things come up and you have to be prepared for that, to move money out of one fund into another. And that is the treasurer's job. We instruct our treasurer on what we need, and she helps manage finances through investments, but we also have to maintain our county and our safety.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Robertson, same question. Do you have any concerns about how specific departments have managed their budgets? How would you ensure the departments funded by the board respect that process and do not exceed their allocated funds? And where would you increase or decrease county spending and why?
Well, first, let me reiterate that I'm not currently on the board. I am running to be on the board. I think every department needs to be held accountable for their budget that they make out, and to make sure that they maintain that budget as close as possible, because that's the taxpayers' money that we are responsible for. As a mother of 4, and I have several grandchildren and married, a budget is very important. Newly retired, you must maintain a budget in order to do the fun things you like doing. So with that, I think I would bring a lot of knowledge of helping, if need be, to help maintain budgets and to hold each department accountable for their spending of the taxpayers' money.
All right, thank you. Ms. Frederick, same question to you. Would you like it read? All right.
Yes, I don't have any concerns at this time, but this is a subject I would like to increase my knowledge on. With that being said, I would like to see us increase funding for our emergency funds. So I myself actually called a local place of facility and asked them if my Ameren bill were to be shut off, who do I call for help? So I called this number, and it took them 7 business days to call me back. When I told them that I no longer had power, I did, but they didn't know that, right? And the voicemail that I left to say that I was without power and had a minor in the household, it took 7 business days to return that phone call for emergency funding. With that being said, our seniors need our help more now than ever. They are the reason why we are here. They have worked so hard, and it's our time to support them. Paying our courthouse staff employees more money. Our courthouse staff employees have to be paid more money to stay. Turnover costs a fortune. With that being said, they should not be working more than one job. They should work an 8 to 5 in the courthouse and be able to go home with their families like the rest of us are able to do. And the jail. I do think that our correction department and the jail need to be paid more money. I would love to see them be heavily supported on the financial side as well. Again, turnover does cost a fortune, and is where a lot of our budget is going, is mitigating turnover is key. And reducing turnover as well, but emergency funding has to change now.
All right, thank you. Ms. Pugh, would you like to hear the question? Yes, please. All right. Do you have any concerns about how specific departments have managed their budgets? How would you ensure that the departments funded by the board respect that process and do not exceed allocated funds? And where would you increase or decrease county spending, and why?
Well, me being on the budget board now as a Knox County for District 2, I mean, first you listen to you. My thing is I'm quiet. I don't really say much. I'm a good listener, and you have to listen to what the department has their needs and their wants. But at the bottom line, you have to stay within budget. I mean, we want all these glamorous things. I understand that, Ms. Boone, you had talked about the Sheriff's Department, how they are the biggest department and they need all these things. I totally get that, but at the same time, you have to go within your budget. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Zorni, would you like to hear the question?
Of course I'm going to make you read that.
All right. Any concerns about how specific departments have managed their budgets? How would you ensure the departments funded by the board respect that process and do not exceed their allocated funds? And where would you increase or decrease county spending, and why?
I'm going to answer the last question first. I would like to see as much spending in law enforcement as possible without impacting the other services that the county has to provide. But I will tell you that when I first got into the cable TV business, I was just, like a dumb kid out of college. And here they handed me a multi-million-dollar company and said, run it as if you own it. And one of the keys to doing that successfully was to establish a budget and then follow that budget. And it wasn't just something that I followed monthly, it was something that I had to look at daily to make sure that we were doing the right things that we had budgeted for. And sometimes we take our best guess and we missed on the budget, and we might have to overspend a little bit here and underspend a little bit over there to make up for it. But I think the way that we make sure that the different departments stay within a budget is that we educate the department heads and the people who are running the departments on how to make sure that that happens. It was a big learning curve when they handed me that multi-million-dollar company, and I'll tell you, I didn't do it very well for the first year or two, but you learn very quickly that the budget is the key to making it successful, and I think that's the same thing with the county.
Okay, thank you. We are going to go to the closing, I think. Rich? All right. We have a few more questions, but I don't think we can fit those in and your closing, so we will start. Yeah, you're excited about that, aren't you?
I am excited. I like being first.
Tennis shoes tonight, that's
If anybody knows this, you know.
all right. So, Ms. Robertson, go ahead and give us your closing.
Okay, I just want to reiterate that as a new member of the Knox County Board, I will be very active in each committee I'm assigned to. I will work with each member of the Knox County Board, as well as City Council and any other agency that will partner with us, to provide the best outcome for the citizens of Knox County. District 1 is made up of residential as well as businesses, and we need to reach out to both to make sure that we are serving them the best that we can. I asked for your vote in November, and I just want everyone to remember early voting starts on Thursday. So please vote.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Frederick, your closing, and it is 1 minute for the closings. Yep.
Perfect, thank you. So to tell you a little bit about myself, outside of work, I'm a proud mother to an 8-year-old son who is active in golf, baseball, wrestling, football, swimming, and I just apologize, golf again. I was the youngest of 5 in my family. I grew up on a farm in Henry County where I developed values that shaped my strong support for law enforcement, agricultural, locally owned businesses, and economic development. I believe in transparency and accountability. I will work to fully understand and evaluate every issue before making decisions. I will only abstain from a vote if faced with a true conflict of interest, which I will publicly disclose. My goals are to reduce debt, bridge communication gaps across party lines, and work together to move Knox County forward. From my family to yours, I am ready to serve and help win Knox County. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Pugh, your closing.
I'm Erin Pugh. Those of you that know, I'm committed to both the community of Knox County and the Constitution in District 2 and ask for your vote. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Zorni.
As I mentioned earlier, that I've been here since '87, so I'm really, there were a lot of times when we could have picked up and left, but Galesburg and Knox County are such wonderful places to raise a family. We raised 4 kids. I've been very involved off and on with different organizations. Right now, one of them is the St. Vincent de Paul Society to help feed people who need that help. I look forward to being able to be a member of the county board and to help to move this county forward in all of the important areas that we need to focus on. Thank you. Also, thank you for everybody being here. This is great turnout.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Amor, your closing.
Yes. For the citizens of District 2, I ask for your vote. My record shows I have the experience, integrity, and commitment to serve you well on the county board. From my work experience, I have skills that have already proved valuable to the county. I pledge to work hard while listening to the concerns of every citizen, urban or rural. I will collaborate with any board member, regardless of party, who wants to get the important work done. And I will insist on improvements to the way the county communicates, or right now mostly doesn't communicate, the way we do the people's business. I'm proud to have the endorsement of several local labor unions who do so much of the important work of the county, including the Galesburg firefighters, the plumbers and pipe fitters, the electrical workers, the building trades council, and the auto workers. Finally, for all voters, I ask you to vote for all the Democratic county candidates whose names are on your ballot. Quite frankly, the issues of transparency and due process that currently plague the county board cannot be corrected unless the Democrats regain the majority. Help us turn things around and get the board back on a solid foundation. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Theory, your closing, please.
My name is Kim Theory, and I'm running for District 3 in Knox County. And I want to tell you that the last 25 years of my life I have spent working for you as a public servant, with my purpose being meeting the needs of the most needy in our community, finding solutions and refusing to say no. If you know me, you know I'm committed. My word is my bond. And I would like for you to know, if you re-elect me, I will continue to do that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Boone, your closing.
Thank you, and thank all of you wonderful, wonderful people for coming and getting more involved and getting out there. I am proud to serve whatever level, whether it's nursing, whether it's on the board. I'm a work in progress. I'm learning all about the financial end of the county. There are investments. I believe every one of us board members should know exactly where every dime of our county money is, where it is invested. And that is something I feel is very important to build on. So we can budget more accurately. Is our money in high-risk funds? Is it in moderate-risk funds? Is it in low-risk funds? That's something I want to work on, and I think the people of Knox County should be able to see that too. I believe in fiscal accountability on every level. And I would appreciate anyone in District 5's vote. And thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. A round of applause for the candidates. And I just want to thank the candidates for, our democracy depends on people like you who will run for office. There's a lot we talk a lot about voters, and it's important to vote, but we need candidates, especially at the local level. So I appreciate not only you running, but showing up here and letting people hear your answers to these questions. I'd like to thank the sponsors for making this happen, and the audience. This is a really great turnout. Thanks, everyone.